Okay, so today welcome to my lab demo of the uh, final project for um, Big Data Processing Toolbox. Just give a clarification before we start. So after I finishing all the work, I have a final exam in the middle, so I kind of like delay the recording video date until the last date. Today that we need to submit the homework, but I kind of find that my billing has been charged out of the scope, which means my cluster doesn't work anymore. You can see this. Oh, sorry. So this one. So my cluster currently doesn't work. Due to I don't have any money in my billing. So today's video will be pretty focused on, I will give a quick walkthrough based on the screenshots. As you can see, so this is my name here. This is my Chrome browser. So all those screenshots are actually done by me, so you can trust those screenshots here. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so firstly, we need to do is find some suitable Docker images. So here are the Docker images I found from either professor's recommendation or either built by me. And next is that we need to uh, test all the Docker images and containers locally. So take Spark as an example. What I need to do is that I need to pull this Docker image. So I use this command here and also test it on the local server. So as you can see, the test result is here, which means this Docker image is good to use. Similar way as Jupyter Notebook, SonarQube Unix Scanner, Hadoop, and also my terminal application. So one thing I want to mention is that due to my laptop is mic with M1 chip, so every time I run Docker pull or Docker run command, I should add -- platform Linux MD64. But if you are a Windows user, you totally don't need that. And another thing I want to mention here is how I built my terminal application by myself. So firstly, all the files are here. So you can see this is my terminal application py, and these are the other things I am going to run, and also this is the Docker file. So I just use the simplest way Professor ever taught before. Install this application in the Python Docker image. Okay, so next, after testing all the Docker images and find it works, we can start building it on deploying that on the Google Cloud Platform. So first, what I need to do is I need to set up a cluster. So this cluster, I change the name into Cluster Big Data Processing Tool and set the location here. And this is my Chrome browser. I actually changed the email here because I can't use my school email to do this homework because I use my personal Gmail to use to accept school's billing at that time. Yeah, and the secondly is I need to deploy those single images and the multi-node images into Kubernetes. So firstly, we talk about deploy single Docker image. I will take Spark as an example here. So firstly, I need to run those three commands: Docker pull, Docker tag, Docker push. So this is the project ID actually, and this is the Docker repository, and this is the Docker image. So I use these three together um, commands to run in the Cloud Shell of the Google Cloud Platform, and then I will um, get a folder called bitnami, and then I click into that and I found this Docker image has been successfully deployed to Google Cloud Platform. And next, I need to do uh, deploy this Docker image into the Kubernetes. So I just click the three dots and I will find an option is called JKE deploy. So I just click that and then I will just follow the common step um, because until now we don't have some personal customized settings here. After successfully deployed to the Kubernetes engine, and you can see here we have a work logs, and we see that the Spark is here, and I need to expose this image to the public IP address. So here is the expose button. I just click it, and then you will see, okay, the CPU, the memory, and disk is actually working now. And next, I want to mention is that so you need to pay attention to the IP port you need to expose to. So for example, Jupyter Notebook, we just use the similar way to deploy that, but you should go back to look the Docker images and check the IP port rules. This image support, and then when you are exposing, you definitely need to fill in the port number. So just use the port number already been defined. Okay, so actually, this is the services screenshot. You can see I successfully deployed Jupyter Notebook service, um, and then you just use the same way to deploy terminal application at the same time. And next, I need to deploy multi-node Docker images. How can I do that? I will take Hadoop as an example. So firstly, Hadoop will be divided into two parts. One is deployment of name node. The other one is deployment of data node. So for name node, we just follow the same step to deploy this single image into the GCP, and then deploy it to GKE Google Kubernetes engine. And here we definitely need some environmental variables customized settings. So please find those two files in my directory. So it's here. So the first one is this. As you can see, they define name node in the environmental variables we should use, and also the port numbers. Yeah, just follow the same steps, and also we have additional 9 lines environmental variable need to add here. Yeah, so after adding, so you just like using this way to add this environmental variables. After that, you need to change the YML from the 3 replicas into 1 because we are required to only have one master node, right? And then when I'm exporting that, I just um, use this rule, use this define ports here. But pay attention to things we need to control two data nodes. So we definitely need to set the service tab as load balancer, and we just export it. And then you can see, and you can double check. So this is your YML file, and then you can see there are some settings already successfully set here. And next is the deployment of data node. So follow the same way, deploy that. to Google Cloud Platform and then deploy that to Kubernetes engine and set the environmental variables. So here we have some differences. Just still follow the this one. So we need for the data node we need to define the service precondition, right? And also the first 9 lines from Hadoop environment. So just fill in here, and I will click done. And then you can see there are some changes already happened to your YML file. And another thing is that change the port number from 3 to 2 in your YML file. Just use the same way, use the internal search here and find them and change it. And the second one is expose. So actually data knows no need to expose service because it already linked to the name node, and we will just use name node's IP address to do it. So after exposing actually deleted. Yeah. So after that we have all of these services successfully deployed, and then we have their endpoints. Right? Those are the main endpoints I just mentioned. And just give a quick check like the name node is 1 and the data node is 2. And then after setting all the images, we need to run the application on Google Cloud Platform. So just use this command in the Cloud Shell, and then you will see the terminal application. And then once you tap 1, so it will appear the Hadoop here. And then once you tap 2, and you will have Spark. Spark is here. And once you tap 3, you will have Jupyter Notebook. And once you tap 4, you have SonarQube. But here, since I'm not locally log into the Jupyter Notebook, so they will require you to fill in password and token. That's it, I think. Thanks for listening.